Our society generally projects the joys of child rearing and pregnancy as greater than challenges. However, there are a lot of instances where that is not the case. Different women in different circumstances could easily have experiences where they regret becoming mothers, either because they were not ready for it or because the union that the child was brought into was broken, or any other number of reasons. Socially, it is almost taboo for a mother not to enjoy mothering, or to openly regret the choice to be a mother. Do all women with children love mothering? Did they really want to have that child at that time that they did, or at all? What we would like to do is to speak to women in different situations, who, if given the chance, would not have had children, or would have not chosen to do it, or would have chosen to do it differently. We would like to open up the conversation on failed family planning and hear from women who have been through this. We hope that this conversation will begin to create room for women to be honest about their experiences, especially those that appear to go against society's expectations of how a mother should feel or act around motherhood.
There's something my sister-in-law says. She says she's yet to treat a child who's died from crying too many tears, you know? So on some of the things, especially if I can delegate, or if my husband can just show up and represent the two of us, I have learned to not feel guilty about not always being present, especially if it doesn't sit well with me. And that's why I feel like the definition of roles is very important. Is this serving me as a person? Is this serving my role as a parent? And which cost is heavier to bear? So with time, it's gotten easier to make those decisions. It doesn't necessarily eliminate all the guilt, but I think it also doesn't make me a bad parent or a bad mother because I was not there. My name is Maureen. I go by Mo, for those who know me a bit more. I spend a lot of time reading, generating content. Professionally, I work in the development space, development and human rights space. As a person, I feel very strongly towards injustice, towards any living being, whether human or four-legged, judging by my dogs, who I love very much. But the thing is that the world, I feel, is very angry and full of very broken heart people. So we just continuously perpetuate this cycle of I'm hurt, so I'll hurt you and hurt the other person. But then we have to make that stop. And I feel like one of the ways we can actively contribute is actually defending human rights. So my work professionally is around the human rights sector. And right now it's really narrowed down to development sector for young women and girls. I'm a straight shooter. I'm very blunt, almost to the point of, like, really? There's no sugarcoating it? I'm like, no, but if it's the truth or it's a fact. So I'm usually very blunt. Pretty much that's it. Live a very simple life. Work, home, children, family, friends. So right now I stay with my husband, my 3 kids, my mini dogs. That's my immediate family. I was raised in a polygamous family. So I've had 3 women raise me. 1 father. I have siblings, younger siblings from my mom and from my stepmom. It was interesting growing up because of the dynamics of being in a polygamous household. I think one of the biggest things it's taught me is you don't need to like or love everyone just because they're your family. I think people need to earn that level of respect or earn that level of, earn the word family, because we can't just be family because we are blood. And as I've gotten older, it's become very clearer. And like, aside from my nuclear family and my mom and my siblings, I think everybody else is easily replaceable. So that was one of the things I have come to learn and accept that it's okay. It's fine. We don't always have to like each other. So my eldest is almost 13. Then the other one is almost 10, and my youngest is 8 going 9. So when we had my firstborn, honestly, I think I was just going through the motions. Easy pregnancy, labor was hell, but delivery was very smooth. He was a calm baby. We struggled with colic for about a month, and then it was over. And then we made the decision to have my secondborn. I think we tried for almost a year, and then I was like, you know what? It's not happening. I'm going back to work. I swear the ink hadn't even dried on my contract. I don't think I'd finished probation. And then we're like, oh shit, there's another baby coming. But we figured we can balance this out. The commute between where we were staying and where I was working was, with Nairobi traffic, it would take 45 minutes to an hour if you're lucky. Most of the time it would go 1.5, 2 hours. I remember the day I quit. So I'd express milk and leave and go. So I think I was back to work for about 2 weeks. And that day we had a meeting. Then my phone was on silent, but the screen was up. So I could see my nanny was calling. So I'm torn between stepping out and picking this call or sitting there and hoping the house is not on fire, you know? I waited for the meeting to end and immediately I called home and she's like, maziwa imeisha. It was 11:30 a.m. I am 2 hours away. And strangely enough, my department was full of women, but I could not even go to my line supervisor and tell her, my child has no food. I used to pump in the common ladies' washroom. So you can imagine the whole setup you need before you find a place to sit, set up your pump, collect the milk. I was doing this on a toilet seat in a ladies' bathroom. I have never been so distraught. I finished my workday, but the rest of my day, mentally, I was not there. I completely had checked out of work. And when I came back home, I was ridden with so much guilt. And I spoke to my husband and he's like, you know what? It's never that serious. The next day I handed in my resignation and I was like, I will take care of my child. Same child, he was 9 months. We took him for his measles checkup. When the nurse told me, so they asked you this question of is your period back? When was your last period? I was like, actually, it's never come back, you know? She's like, you're sure you're not pregnant? I'm like, no, but you guys said as long as we breastfeed, we are not going to conceive. So me, I'm breastfeeding. How can I be pregnant? Honestly, I was depressed my entire pregnancy because here I am with a 2-year-old, a 9-month-old, and in a couple of months, another child. It was a very long 9 months. But then she was born and she's fantastic. She's absolutely wonderful. Then she turned 1. And I think I had like a reality check. I looked at my life and I was like, I wake up, get the kids to school, come back, deal with household chores. I'd started a small farming business. And then I'm talking to my friends. People are busy advancing in their careers. Siju who's moved to another country. Honestly, I hated my life. I completely hated my life. As in from the outside looking in, it looked perfect. I mean, I have an amazing spouse. Like he's A1. My kids were healthy, thriving. But here I was wondering, what is this nonsense? You know, and I really started questioning my choices around having my children. And it became a very strong feeling of resentment. And I checked out. For a whole year, I just completely checked out. I told my husband, cheers, the children are now yours. May you guys have a good life. I mean, we're living under the same roof, but I was least bothered. Like, if you asked me what people are eating, what school event is happening, how the kids were that day, I would not tell you because I really had just checked out. And then I made it my mission to go back to work. So I started volunteering in a lot of spaces, and eventually that got me back into the flow of work. But then I realized I cannot live that way. You cannot live in a house with people and you're not relating with them. And in this case, I was talking about the kids. And I realized it was more mental and it was reflecting now on the physical because I really hated coming home. Like, I would not want to come home. I would work late. I would take any work trip that involved me going out of town. I was spending a lot of time with my friends, and which is not a bad thing, but I was doing it as a way of escaping. Just like fewer hours at home. Fantastic. I think the biggest one for me was feeling like I was losing my identity in who I was outside of the role I play as a mother. And then, of course, my career had really just like there was a whole blank for 4 to 5 years, and that didn't sit well with me. You can make the choice to stay at home and raise your child, and I think it's a fantastic choice, if it's your choice. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not built to be at home and play that role. I get a lot of value in who I am as a person in the work that I do.
I sat out of work for, I think, a year. And then by the time I'm almost getting back, I find out I'm pregnant again. So it took me like around five years to get back. Yeah. And Have I recovered? Maybe I'm recovering now. Yeah. My name is Jerry Furaha. I am a photographer. No, I should say properly. I am a 3-time international award-winning portrait and documentary photographer. Yes, that is who I am. In any social setting, when you're asked to introduce yourself, you say, I am so-and-so, last name belonging to, and I am a mother of so-and-so. For me to even introduce myself as a photographer and in the wholeness of my title has taken me a very long while. Yeah, because you feel, okay, I have felt that I am only worth anything when I am Mrs. and a mom. Yeah, now it's unlearning that and relearning that I am an entire entity by myself first. Then I am a mother, then I am a wife, then I am a partner, then I am this and this. On the family front, I have 3 children, 2 girls, 11 and 9, and I have a bonus child, he's 4. A bonus child is a gift. My daughters are my bio kids. My 4-year-old was gifted to me because my sister got pregnant, but she was unable to raise a child, so I was given. Yes, so he's my bonus. It was not my life plan to have them whenever I got them. Mine was a classic case of birth control gone awry. It refused to work, and I thought I had malaria, only to find out that in 2009 I was like 5 months pregnant when I discovered, and I was like, okay. And then the next time, same thing, birth control refused, and I got another gift. Yes. So my life plan was to get kids at least in my 30s because my career had started. I was doing modeling, I was doing TV, I was in radio, I was in production, I was traveling around the world, and so I didn't have space for children. But then when you have sex, it is a byproduct of that. So yes, that's how I became a mother. Do you know, women, mothers are not supposed to say it, but there is a regret that when you're honest with yourself in your corner, in your room, by yourself, you have to look at it and you have to own it that, yes, I love my children. They're the most precious things that I have, but they came at the wrong time. They stopped me in advancing my career. They stopped me in doing what I had planned to do. Is that a bad thing? I don't know why society makes it a bad thing, because it's a human emotion. Like the same way if I buy a pair of shoes for 20K, they're nice, but why did I spend 20,000 buying those shoes? So same thing. I love my children. I would not trade them for anything, but there is some form of that I had to sit down with, and so that I don't resent them, I had to deal with that emotion where I look at them and I'm like, if you didn't come now, I would be traveling, I would be doing this, I would have money in my pocket. Because let's just face it, when babies come, that is a glorious hole in your wallet. So to just sit with myself and say, you know what, it is okay how I feel. And by letting that emotion wash over me and get out, I do not regret. And I don't look at them as barriers. Yeah. Now I can love my children wholeheartedly. But yes, I have sat with myself and said, I wish I didn't have kids at that time. Again, I don't understand why we are not allowed to feel that. Because it's a huge bump. Yeah. With your plans and your schedules, because we all have schedules. And to sit at home and see people that you're with bypassing you, and here you have diapers, leaky boobs, just hormonal changes, mental changes, and you're seeing your peers advancing, and you know for a fact you'll never catch up. You feel some type of way. So yes, I did regret, or I do regret having them at that time. I don't regret having them though. Yeah. There is a social stigma when it comes to that. By saying that, I know I will get calls or texts or DMs or WhatsApps telling me I should not have said that. Because women are supposed to be automatic moms. You need to want to have babies. So how dare you say that having these precious gifts from God, you regret it. But we also have to admit, babies change, they change your life. There's a degree of freedom that you lose. There's a degree of independence that you lose. There's dreams that you have to put on hold. And that's normal to feel that way. But I don't know why society has put women on a pedestal where they are automatically embracing this amazing journey of motherhood, and they transition into it very easily, and they should not have any problems in that, and because it's a God-given right or gift or something. Yeah. Society makes it hard for women to own certain feelings that come with motherhood. And I think it's really unfair. Because guys, unfortunately, guys get a pass. They are allowed to take time to warm up to the idea of fatherhood. We don't. I can carry a child for 9 months, and even when the child comes, I'm not ready to be a mother. So like case in point, my sister, she carried the child. When the child was born, she wasn't ready. And so am I supposed to calm down on her? You know, you're a woman. You should. People are different. Mental capacities are different. Emotional capacities are different. So if she wakes up 10 years from now and says, now I'm ready, I will fight her, but we'll have that conversation. But I feel like you're allowed to feel that way. Maybe, and then you will have collected yourself, and then you'll be a good mother then.
So society tells you a mother should put her kids first, always be present, choose her children's happiness. Where's the woman? Where's the actual person behind this person playing a role? So for me, it's always like this. I put myself first, then everything else. Because if I'm not whole, all I'm going to do is infect them with my negativity. It's not going to help them. I think for me right now, it's more important to be aware of what my needs are, but also be accommodating of what they need. It's a weird, it's not even balancing, it's a weird juggling act, because you can't drop the ball on either. But I strongly believe that if you're not almost at 100, if not 100 as yourself, they're gonna pay for it in one way or another. Just be yourself. The world will adjust. Watakuwa tu sawa. But just be a nice human being. Be a decent human being while you're at it. In parenting, I think the word perfection is relative to your circumstance. Yeah. I think it really is relative to your circumstance. And because it works for you, doesn't necessarily mean it will work for me.
We live within a system that likes putting us into holes, positions, and it's very unmovable. And unfortunately, we have women who like upholding those systems. We need to stop. All right. And then we need, I feel there's a need to help women as a collective not fall into nurturing roles because that is what is expected of them. We are more than that. And expecting a woman to, if you're in a meeting, for her to serve you chai, because wewe upati bwana yako chai? So, but you're not my bwana here, so we all have hands. What's the problem? Or because I am a mother, I should act in a certain way. I call BS on all that. And just by the fact that we keep pushing for it, consciously or subconsciously, we just need to have these conversations more often so that more of us can wake up and see that this is not the be it all, This is not the peg or the hole that you're in. You can actually put off that hat and continue without feeling guilty or feeling begrudged because that's not what you want to do. Or if you're like me, who tends to favor mothering because it is easier and it gets things done, I feel like we need to have these conversations more so that we stop hiding behind that and explore your entire range as a human being, because we have strengths that we can excel in if we just removed this blinder. Yeah, we can compete with guys or single women better if we just removed this mothering hat that we hide behind.
I think for anyone who's playing the role of a mother is to be gentle and be gracious with yourself. It's hard, it's rough, it builds you up, it tears you down, it gives you so much imposter syndrome. So I think be gentle with yourself, extend the same grace to yourself as you would to a new mother or to a fellow mother. Extend the same grace to yourself because you're gonna mess up, but then realizing it's not the end, correcting it, moving forward. And you always know what's best for your child. You always know what's best for your child, even when nobody else understands it. Like your innate instinct is to do the best for your child, right? Yeah.